Good day, students. I am Teacher Mika, and our subject for today is English, Quarter 4, Module 2, Strategies for Effective Interpersonal Communication. Before we proceed to our discussion, I want you to answer the pre-assessment. Directions. Read the conversation below. Observe the flow of communication that the characters shared. After reading and observing the conversation, you will answer the given questions. Number 1. What do you call that verbal conversation between two or more persons? You're right. The answer is dialogue. Number 2. Who are John and Mark in the conversation? You're correct. The answer is characters. Number 3. How many commonly used punctuation marks are there in the talk? Very good. The answer is 5. Number 4. What punctuation mark is used to separate the person's name from what they say? You're correct. The answer is colon. Number 5. What did the two boys find out? Excellent. The answer is they belong to the same school. Congratulations, you got it all right. Now let's proceed to our discussion. What is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication is the process of face-to-face exchange of thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions between two or more people. What is an interpersonal skills? Interpersonal skills are traits you rely on when you interact and communicate with others. They cover a variety of scenarios where communication and cooperation are essential. Effective interpersonal skills can help you to have an effective interpersonal relationship with others. Active listening is an example of interpersonal skill, which means listening to others with the purpose of gathering information and engaging with the speaker. Active listeners avoid distracting behaviors while in conversation with others. To develop active listening, you should practice the following. 1. Pay attention. 2. Show the speaker that you are listening and you're interested. 3. Clarify your understanding. 4. Do not interrupt or redirect the conversation. 5. Provide a suitable response that is honest but polite. Body language. The impression others form of you is roughly split by body or visuals, 55%, voice or sound, 38%, words or content, 7%. So, body language is significantly used to understand what is being said. When communicating with others, your aim is to display open body language, such as relaxed posture, maintaining eye contact, uncrossed arms, nodding your head, smiling, etc. Closed body language should be avoided as you may be perceived as uninterested or even untrustworthy. For example, folding arms or legs, avoiding eye contact, shifting eyes, and fidgeting. Top tips for effective interpersonal communication. Number 1. Don't show negative body language. As the saying goes, the first impression is the last impression. Hence, you should always be careful when it comes to body language. Another important point to note here is that you should not bring any physical barriers between you and the other person. Barriers create distractions and can make the communication process uncomfortable. Number 2, do not interrupt the other person. It is very rude to interrupt a person while they are speaking. Nobody likes to be interrupted because it hampers the thought process and it is disrespectful. Number 3, think before you speak. Another adage that perfectly describes this point is look before you leap. You should think how your words are going to affect the person with whom you are communicating before making any comments. That means you should try to connect with the feelings of the other person in order to show that you genuinely care about the conversation that is going between the two of you. Number 4, listen well. The ability to listen to what a person is saying is itself a skill, and you should focus on that while communicating with others. If you had good listening skills, you will be able to understand that person's words more clearly and react in a positive manner. It will also send a signal to the other person that you care about what he or she has to say. Number 5, don't be defensive or attacking. Be neutral. Some people tend to get defensive or attacking during conversations. You do not have to get overexcited when someone points out your mistakes and get defensive or attack them. Be neutral and transparent so that you can understand what is actually being discussed. Always maintain the balance in the conversation so that everyone involved in the discussion has a fair part in it. Number 6, don't deviate. Always try to stick to the topic of discussion to maintain the relevancy of the communication process. There is no need to bring something totally unrelated to the discussion and waste the time of the people involved. If you deviate away from the topic, the whole idea of the conversation becomes less meaningful. Number 7, be confident of your ideas. You should always be confident of what you are speaking and should take ownership of your words. This will increase the trust that the other people have in you and make the conversation flow more freely. Number 8, be open to receiving feedback. Sometimes it is good to step back and be receptive to feedback. Communication is a two-way process and should remain like that. You should be able to open up to feedback from the other person and give honest feedback whenever you feel it is needed. Number 9, use the right communication method. Communication may not necessarily always be verbal, and you should understand that different types of situation ask for different methods. You should know which type of communication method will be more effective. Location is also an important point to remember. Different types of communication need different locations. Number 10, shake hands firmly. The last but not the least important tip is how you shake hands when you introduce yourself. Give a firm handshake but do not make it a tight one, and also do not squeeze. A weak handshake may indicate lower self confidence. Communication roadblocks. Developing strong interpersonal communication skills is critical to approaching and resolving conflicts. Before ending our discussion, I want you to answer an assessment. Assessment. Directions. Read the following lines comprehensively. Write true if it is applicable for interpersonal communication and false if it does not. Write your answers directly to your activity notebook. Number 1. A dialogue is a talk which is exclusive for only two persons. The answer is false. Number 2. The use of an appropriate punctuation mark in the conversation will enhance understanding. The answer is true. Number 3. Smiling is a negative gesture in a good conversation. The answer is false. Number 4. It is good to do texting while talking to someone. The answer is false. Number 5. A commendable interpersonal is necessary in a dialogue. The answer is true. Number 6. Interpersonal communication does not involve emotions. The answer is false. Number 7. Incorporating personality traits is included in interpersonal skill. The answer is true. Number 8. Active listening means to engage with one the speaker is talking. The answer is true. Number 9. A relaxed posture while talking to someone is a good body language. The answer is true. Number 10. You have to avoid eye contact when talking to someone. The answer is false. The next activity you're going to answer is what I have learned. Directions: review the lessons, then write your reflection in your notebook by finishing up the unfinished statements below. I have learned that, I have realized that, and lastly, I will apply, then blank. You're going to fill up the blanks to finish the statements below. Before ending our discussion, I would like to give you an assignment. Directions: read the given situation below. Create a dialogue as if you are one of the students in the situation. Focus only on the given problem in the situation. Write the dialogue in a short bond paper with creative design to be submitted upon the return of this module. So the situation: it is the first day of the face-to-face classes in a public school. Students are coming in to look for their advisory classrooms. Two new grade 7 students happen to come from a private elementary school. They have different reactions upon looking at the 1,000 students coming in from the gate of the school. Write a dialogue of your impressions about your observations and impressions of the situation or experience. The rubrics for rating the dialogue is criteria: appropriate format and structure of a dialogue, 5 observable, 3 less observable, and 1 not observable. Use of the polite expression in the conversation, and show the development of the interpersonal relationship between characters. So that's it for today, and I hope you learned a lot from our discussion, and thank you for your cooperation. So once again, I am Teacher Mika, and I hope you learned a lot from our discussion. Thank you and goodbye.